We are live. Got a new, it's called a miniature assembly handle, but it works perfect.
It's really hard.
I know, I tried to tell you that. But anyways, this is the miniature assembly handle by Citadel. I will post a link down below to where you can get that if you're interested. It has little alligator clips that you can use if you're trying to like glue on some wings or some arms or something like that, which is really cool.
I'm not gonna lie though, they're kind of pissing me off.
Paula doesn't like them. I don't feel like they would bother me.
They're like in the way. They're in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a statement. It was a fact.
So Paula doesn't like them. I think I would like them. Maybe we'll have to get her one without those, so that she can handle it better. They're only like $15 to $20, so they're not too bad. But yeah, anyways, I've got miniatures that I need to glue back on their bases and things like that. Like I have a D&D imp that's broken. I've got a dragon that's broken off the base because my kids played with them and broke them. And so, you know, it's just one of those things. So I'm going to find a lot of use of it. And I actually don't think they would get in my way. I actually think it'd be kind of nice to have them on there.
Okay, but like, it's different when it's me because I have tiny hands.
Probably.
Like really small hands. So
I mean, you do make that thing look a lot bigger than it actually is. It does not look very big to me. But then when I look on camera and I see your hand, I'm like, that looks big.
Yeah.
But it's not that big. It's only like 3 inches tall, 3.5 inches tall. You're only like 30 seconds late, Cameron, but you were the first. I'm sending a link right now.
Yeah, Lily and I almost wear the same glove size.
Yeah, that's ridiculous that you and a 9-year-old wear the same glove
and
size.
she's 9.
Oh, I can't post it in here. Yes, I can. Here we go. Perfect.
So this is one of those situations where like the actual may appear larger when you purchase it.
Yes, I think that's the case. I can see why you, like, if you're trying to paint under something, I could see it getting in the way a little bit. But other than trying to paint underneath something, I don't think those will bother me at all.
Oh, you don't think so?
Not for me. No, I actually think I like it because one of the most annoying things is my fingers were getting in the way. Because when you hold the base, your fingers are up above the base by a couple millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
That bothered me more than anything when I painted. But it looks like it's pretty secure, and I was looking at it before. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it fits in here really nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of
Of it sticking out. I get you.
Arms.
I know how you are. I had a feeling that when I saw it, you wouldn't like that. You kind of get driven crazy by some stuff like that occasionally.
So you bought this one for me? You're like, oh,
I actually
Paula probably won't like that.
I said when I pulled it out of the box. Plus, when I read reviews, it made it sound like this, like twisted off or something. I tried to take it off. I don't see how you can take it off. There's no clips. There's no screws. I don't know how to take that off. So
he's talking about this section here.
I'm talking about that whole thing.
Yeah, my idea was just like pull the arm off, but it's probably not supposed to do that. So
yeah, I'm worried that if you do that, it's not going to hold snug when you try to hold something in place.
Yeah, probably.
And that's the whole purpose of it.
That's probably true.
Yay, Melchior is now here too. We got our guys here, Melchior and Cameron. So yeah, the link, if you're interested in this, again, so here, let me hold it real quick. Just my hand does it some justice, I think. So here it is in my hand. My hand is much bigger than this. It does not look as crazy, but look at Paula's hand behind it.
Oh yeah, it's like the same size as
yeah.
my hand.
So it's a completely different deal, but I think it's pretty cool. You can shake it, nothing's falling out. Like I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna do a review on it, I think, tomorrow. But if you're interested in this, the link is in the pinned comment. I get like 30 cents every time someone orders one, probably. So, if you want to support the channel, that's one way you can do it. Or you can go over to Patreon and help us buy another one without the clips for Paula. $10 a month gets you into a chat where you can actually be on video with me. I think it says once a week. I think we're going to go to bi-weekly with that. We have one person in there, Tactical Tokens. So, in fact, next Tuesday we're going to do it. He actually said we could go on stream as well. So, next Tuesday at this time, I will be on stream with him. And, I'll probably just talk to him about his Tactical Tokens and stuff on stream. And it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Maybe I'll paint miniatures. I don't know. Maybe I'll just start painting miniatures when I interview people.
Just sporadically.
Yeah, just
like,
hey,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Like, hey, I'm going to screw up this miniature while I talk to you about RPGs or your company or your products.
Seems like such a good idea.
So, something kind of big. So, it looks like Green Ronin is taking their A Song of Ice and Fire engine for RPGs, and they're going to translate it to a standard fantasy game, which I don't know why, since they have Fantasy Age, they're going to do it, but they're doing this, which, hey, I've never played it, but I hear it's good. And Jeff Carricker, who I had on this for an interview about a month ago, had said that if you're interested in writing something and you can have it done by... I posted the actual screenshot on my Facebook page, so the Master the Game Facebook page. If you want to check that out and you're interested in getting into the RPG industry as a writer, then head on over there right now and you can see what the criteria is. And then I can help you get in touch with Jeff, or you can just message Jeff yourself. And, as long as you meet the criteria and just work on your first project. So.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm tempted, but I don't trust my writing.
So much advertising.
I only advertise like 2 things. Is it that bad? Am I a shill, a corporate shill?
Yeah.
Someone told me I need to say stuff more often, so that's all. So I'm trying to. I don't normally plug my stuff. That's why people don't even know I have a Patreon. The Disney trademark channel. But yeah, if you want to get into the RPG industry as a writer, there's an opportunity right now. If you can basically write however much he needs written in the next month.
So, what we haven't talked about.
What is that?
Is about our Call of Cthulhu game.
Take it away, Paula. I'll let you.
On Saturday. You guys, it was so much fun. It was a ton of fun.
I know. Paula's
Did you have a good time? So, okay. So, we played a, Reservoir Dogs kind of
loosely
style. Yeah. So everybody was given a character, and their character has, a different colored name. So I was Miss Black. We had a Mr. Red, a Mr. Green, and a Mr. Beige. So each one of you has this character that he puts together, and you've all just completed a heist, and you are in... you've pulled in after the heist in a warehouse, and you basically just have to sit tight there for 8 hours waiting for the cavalry to come get you, basically. And it was so great. The game went really, really well. It was a lot of fun. There were twists and turns. Even you had fun, and you were
I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would ever play another Call of Cthulhu after that game.
Yeah,
going into it, because I'm not a Call of Cthulhu fan.
He basically played so that I got because I was playing.
I tried it. So Paula wants to try different games and stuff, so I try to make it possible, and there's another opportunity, but she hasn't joined Discord to make it happen. But there's a girl who wants to get her into some games, and their women's gaming monthly thing or whatever. And even reached out again and said, hey, just have her message me or join up. Well, Paula doesn't have Twitter, so her only way is to join Discord. So I sent her the link, but I know she didn't enter yet.
No, I don't have Discord on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Time to get it.
I know.
Time to get a new phone. Let's just do it. Let's get it done. Let's get it over with. But yeah, I made the joke of Clue, like Colonel Mustard and all. I made the Clue joke in the game. It's like blah 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 in the study with the lead pipe.
Yeah, but
it was not like that at all.
Yeah, but it was such a good game. Like, seriously, if you guys didn't go watch it, if you haven't watched it yet, like, it's really great.
No, it depends. You can play it that way, Melchior. You can play it like a game of Clue. You can play it like those things where they have like 30 people in a room and who killed the blah, blah, blah. Like, you can play so many different styles of game. Reservoir Dogs and you have a hostage. You can play that situation out. We had it where... I don't want to ruin it. I'm not going to ruin it. But you can play it in a lot of different ways. It lends itself to a lot of narrative things. And I think it's perfect for a one-shot. Maybe 1 or 2 games, but I don't think I would ever play a long campaign of it. I wouldn't mind owning it just for that purpose.
But there's far more role playing.
That's just how we ran. We could have rolled for a bunch of stuff if we wanted to.
Yeah.
He just leaves a lot of things. Like, that was player agency. Like, well, I don't know. You tell me what you see. Yeah. You tell me, is this something, 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 something. You know, like, that's player agency to a T.
Yeah, it was great. It was so great.
That's what I want my players to do more of.
Like, I loved it. Well, then you gotta lead us into that.
Yeah,
you gotta just be like, I don't know what happens.
Right. Oh, I agree. But I like the idea. So the first time I ever played it, and the only other time before Saturday, was we were in a movie theater. And we were there for something. I don't remember what. There were three players, one DM. We were doing D20 Call of Cthulhu, and we were investigating something, I feel like. And then all of a sudden, we started having visions of things. And then we all went crazy, basically. And that was fun. Because, again, you can play it where, you're going crazy, or you are crazy, or you're, or you can play it where you're seeing things and then you're killing stuff. Like, you can play it in so many different ways. It's a good game. I'll admit it is a good game. It's not my preferred game. It would be fun every now and then with the right group of people. If it's like, hey guys, let's play a random game this Saturday, and here's what I've got. Because I would do it with pre-gens, I think, if I was running it, so that I can control some of the personalities and stuff of the characters to an extent, and just see how players would run with that. You know what I mean? I've always liked pre-gens for games like that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that was just fun because it was like
It was improv.
Yes, and it didn't really explain the personality of your character necessarily. You just kind of had to infer,
It told you, like, a couple sentences about your character.
Yeah. So
and you could take it from there. Like, I knew my character was a non-violent character. Because it said it in there. Right?
Yeah, that's what mine said about you, too. You were a wimp.
Yep. I'm sure it did. That's all right, because mine said that you were not very strong, but you were fairly tough. But you did not show it. Sounds like a false Hydra game would be similar in nature. Yeah, sure. There's no reason you couldn't take...
What color was I going to do these flames? You guys wanted green?
We wanted green.
I think they might be pink.
I thought we said purple at one point. You said you were going to go with like a purple translucent.
I could do that too.
So you also said blue at one point, but then you painted it blue.
Yeah, so I don't think too much. There's too much blue.
I think green would be good. I don't see any reason why you couldn't play that style Call of Cthulhu game with any other system, though. Again, we didn't roll for much. Like you could play that with D&D. You could play it with Pathfinder. There was nothing that would require all those rolls. We never had to go into initiative order or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, so there's nothing.
Like, the one thing, like.
I mean, I rolled to shoot, I think.
I rolled for one thing, and that was it.
Yeah. I think I made 2 other rolls, actually. But, like, I made a driving roll to start the game and something else.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't that bad. It was a good game. It was fun to watch. I've even watched it back myself, and I don't normally watch my live plays back unless I'm running a campaign. But yeah, it was good. I would happily play it again. Would you run Call of Cthulhu? Is the real question.
Would I?
Yeah, would you run it?
No.
You don't think you would run it?
No.
With all the mystery shows and stuff you watch, you don't think you could run a good game?
No, because I'm too anxious. Like, will they figure it out? Will they not figure it out? Did I give them enough clues? Did I give them too many clues?
Oh, but you write it more like a story. You reverse engineer it.
Yeah, I know.
So, like that module thing that we played, I bet you it's like, this is what's going to happen. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Here's the different things that happen throughout. You know, It gives you ideas probably. It doesn't matter if you figure it out. Eventually, you just got to, at some point, go, okay, improv, tie it together. That's it. I bet you that's what it is.
Maybe.
Take the effects of a false Hydra and put them into a Call of Cthulhu game, and I guess nobody would notice. So I actually don't even know what a false Hydra is. I mean, I'm making assumptions on my end. Is that like you cut its head off and it doesn't regrow? I don't get it. It doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in either playing or running, but that's just me. Melchior, go watch the game. I think you'll be interested in at least checking it out. I understand what you're saying because that's how I've felt for a long time. It's not the style game I get excited about. Even now, I'm not like excited to ever play Call of Cthulhu again, but I would play it. And before this last session, I said I would probably never play Call of Cthulhu ever again. And then I played it again. And now I'm like, I'd probably play it again. So I'm warming up to the idea of certain games with it. Again, it's perfect for one-shots. I would never try to do it as anything more than that, though. There's like things I want to say about the game, but I don't want to spoil it if anyone's going to watch it.
Well,
so that's the only reason I'm not.
Ours was, I think what you could say is that like ours was time sensitive.
Yes.
Like, you show up at the warehouse at a certain time, and at a certain time, it's going to end. So, it wouldn't make sense in that game that we specifically played to carry on to another campaign. Like,
that wasn't a campaign.
Sense, you know? But...
Roll stats. I told you you'd like it. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So, again.
Yes, it was like, guys, it was super fun for me.
Paula loved it.
Like, I had such a blast.
Yeah. It depends on the players, though. I could see myself playing that with other groups I've played games with before and not enjoying it at all. Like, I could have seen myself playing it with different groups and being bored.
Yeah, that was a good group. And, like, what's his name? Keeper?
Yes, Sean.
He kept things moving along.
Yes.
But he also made sure, like, he was very good at including everybody. Like, if you hadn't said anything for a little bit, he'd jump over to you and, like,
give you a chance at least, whether you said something or not.
Now, if you don't take him up on the opportunity, like, he'll just, keep going or whatever.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, because I would say Peter, who played Mr. Beige, there were a lot of times where he didn't speak up. Or he'd say, no, I'm good.
Quiet,
but he'd be like, I'm good. But I guess he was also playing his character, it sounds like. I didn't see what his stuff said.
But he was also over there, like, cracking up.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I think he had fun.
I don't think he wasn't, like, having fun.
Right. I think everyone had fun. But at the same time, again, I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is, like, the best game ever. I would play it again. I don't know if I could write something good enough to run, though. I would run it as a one-shot, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, but I could see it being something we would play again. I don't know. There's a game called Pulp Cthulhu. It's just like Call of Cthulhu, but it's made for more combat and risky behavior. We had plenty of... Well, you saw, Cameron. You watched. We had plenty of combat type stuff. Combat's perfectly fine within Call of Cthulhu, I feel. I mean, the system's close to Warhammer. I mean, it's percentile based. The really creepy thing about the false Hydra is how it's able to kill and eat people without other people realizing, knowing that someone they knew has gone missing. Yeah, I've never heard of a false hydra, I guess. That's kind of weird to me. It's a creature which eats living things, and then its song erases all memory of the eaten thing from the listeners. That's weird.
Oh, okay.
What is that? For, what is that in a game already? What game is that?
I've seen that in like a show before, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not like a show I watched with you, but you know, shows that I don't watch with you.
Yeah. Rollstat says it's the best game ever. It's role play rather than role play. It's sit down improv with some dice rolls. No, it was again Rollstats. I agree. It's a good game. It's fine. It's not my favorite game, but I like it more than Savage Worlds. How about that? And I like it more than Palladium System. How about that? There we go. And I'm a Palladium fan. Melchior said, darn, should have erased either realizing or knowing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I like Call of Cthulhu. I think it was fine. I would play it as a one-shot if I felt like I had some good modules that came with it. I don't know what the book has inside of it. I'd probably try to run it for some people. But that's about it. I'd probably play it again, too, like I said.
Okay.
It's okay. It just does that sometimes. You could hear it spool in there. That's part of D&D, but I think the False Hydra is a really high-level creature. Player level 15 plus, I think. I don't even know what book that would be in. False Hydra? I don't think that's in any of the 5e books. Maybe a 3rd edition, 4th edition thing? Pathfinder, maybe? It's not in this core book for Pathfinder. So I bought all the Pathfinder books now. Not all, but I bought the core books. The Bestiary, the Game Master Guide, the GM screen, and the core rulebook. I don't see False Hydra. Nope, no False Hydra in the Bestiary. I'm excited to play Pathfinder 2nd edition. Like, really excited. And we're playing with Michael again for the one shot.
Yep.
He can't play in their campaign game, he said. Because in Australia, they've opened things up for sure, it sounds like, and he's back to working. But out there, like, they've managed to, like, get rid of all cases of COVID, so. Your character is less squishy in Pulp Cthulhu. I think there is also some pulpy skills like mad science and other things that really let you ham up your horror. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the core book allows you to be less squishy or not. I don't know if there would be any. I don't know. I don't know enough about the core game to know if I would ever want Pulp Cthulhu. I bet you I wouldn't. But that's just me.
Okay.
I'd rather house rule.
I'm just gonna call it quits on this one.
Did you finish your face?
I'm not like super loving it. I need a second to think about it.
You think it's because she's not colorful enough?
Yeah, she's
You think
boring.
it's the gray? You could make the gray something else.
It's fine.
Like green. Or silver. Rather
It's
than
fine.
gray.
She's fine.
Okay. I mean, it's fine by me. I think it looks alright. Which one are you going to do next?
So.
The fighter with the 2 swords? I'm going to finish the pixie. There's a tiefling with 2 daggers in there. There's some other ones.
Okay. I don't know. What do you guys want me to paint next? We could paint this guy. He's kind of hard to see.
He's holding a scroll.
He's got like a scroll. He's easier probably from far away. He's got like a cool scroll or something that I could do something with.
He reminds me of like a, I don't know, a grave guy or something.
Could do like a dragonborn.
That one would be cool. What color dragonborns do we currently have? We have red. What was the other one? Like a white-ish?
Gold. We have gold.
So what would you do this one? Maybe this next one in green, maybe? Or blue?
I don't know.
Oh, you did blue before. The other one we have is blue. Green would be good.
Black.
You could do black.
Black would be super cool. Like, think if I did...
And then you could do colored armor.
Black
like gold
with,
armor.
like, super bright. Yeah.
Like gold and silver.
And maybe, like, gold and, like, blue or something.
You just did blue.
So?
I don't know. Red and gold armor?
Do red.
That
Pink
cool.
Dragonborn, all the shimmer.
No.
Cameron is great.
No. You're so mean.
You know, so I would do that, but like not on this guy because I'm never going to play this guy. And if I make a Pink Dragonborn, then I'm going to want to play that character.
Yeah, we'll get you a new one for that.
So maybe black. Is that what we're thinking?
I think black would be fine.
I
with red armor.
This guy.
I think red armor on a black Dragonborn would be kind of cool.
No.
With gold trim or gold accents.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, that would be so epic. So Cameron
Plus, some
says
of this you can see. Some of this is leather. Like this is his whole back is open. He's got like leather straps.
Gotcha.
So.
Cameron says False Hydra is a famous homebrew creature with 5e stat block design. Famous? Must not be that famous. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I think I've heard Luke mention that you guys always harass him on his streams about the False Hydra. Melkier says, I've only heard of the False Hydra because of one of the narrated D&D stories I've listened to, where it was used very cleverly. Yeah, I don't think I would ever use that. According to Google, the False Hydra isn't official in D&D, but it's popular homebrew by blogger Arnold K. Yeah, I don't think I would use it. So someone once made a Rust Monster Hydra for a game I played in, for a one-shot, and it was a meat grinder. And then Neftali from Infinite Roleplay, he like made a model of it and did a video on it. And then Locrius did a video about the Rust Monster Hydra, I believe, as well. Locrius like paints his face blue, and he's part of an intergalactic rock band. He's awesome. Locrius is great. I need to get him to do some. Yeah. Anyways, I need to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a long time. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff about the Rust Monster Hydra. That homebrew's cool. But yeah, I don't know if I would ever use a false Hydra. A singing Hydra. That seems a little OP to me. Like, oh, we just went into the woods, but we don't remember why. Someone supposedly saw a beast, but didn't hear it sing. And now we don't remember anything about it. Does this bother you? A book that has, like, faded text that's not supposed to be faded? Like, that drives me nuts.
Yes. That would bother me.
That's a huge pet peeve of mine. All right. So we've made our character. Well, did you make your character? Your druid? Did you end up finishing it? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay. Because someday we're going to try and do that.
That's fine. I can always make spur of the moment decisions. I just need to level up.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Gotcha. Why would you want a pink dragonborn, Cameron? What would the pink dragonborn's breath weapon be? Glitter? Rainbows?
Rainbow sparkles.
Yeah, no.
Appropriate.
I'm fine with people, having stuff like that. We have an elf miniature that Paula painted that has a peacock on the shield. And it's totally perfect. Like, look, check this out. Like, this is cool. I dig the color on this one. Right? We made it for a specific player who wanted it, and it's one of my favorite miniatures I have. I like it. But I don't want my Dragonborns being all crazy. I don't know. I kind of want, like, normal Dragonborns first.
He really, just, like, the majority of these people, I really should just, like, paint brown and green and black.
I mean, that's what I'd prefer.
You know?
So, my theory...
The occasional red, black cloak, maybe.
Well, if I had more that were more normal, you know what I mean? That could fit, like, almost all my gaming needs... Then I would say, yeah, let's go ham it up and paint some crazy looking miniatures now. You know what I mean? But I feel like the more colorful, it kind of implies that it's like magic items or whatever. Like, it's more over the top, right? It's less common in my opinion. And so when you start using those, I don't know. I just feel like it's more of a player character thing. And most of these are going to get more use as non-player characters, I feel. For me. You know?
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. Again, I'm not opposed to it. I'm fine with it. I just, like, I would rather have all my colors of dragon covered. You know, I'd rather have all the main ones. I'd rather then, you know, then would say, hey, yeah, paint the Dragonborns whatever you want. Like, give them rainbows, give them glitter and sparkles, and hey, let's throw some wings on them while we're at it. Like, why not? Like,
yeah, but there's never a point at which you're gonna be like, I don't need any more miniatures. So it's like
that's not true.
I would never get to that.
That's
point.
not true. I feel like if I had okay, so Dragonborn. If I had enough to cover like the main classes, and I had the colors that I needed that could kind of alternate between them, like that could double up as a cleric, that could be a fighter, that could be a barbarian, like that could cover a lot of it.
I know, and you only need it in 5 additional colors, so that
I don't need that exact one in 5 additional colors. I'm just saying that's how I feel about it. Melchior, I summon my familiar. You've never had a familiar. What? Candy floss. Pink dragon would have candy floss breath, aka fairy floss in Australia. I have no idea what you're talking about. What is candy floss? Do you know what candy floss is? Or fairy floss? I've never heard of that.
maybe like licorice.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. We don't know what that is. Can you Google it? You're sitting at a computer.
Yeah, but it slows my stuff down. You just were talking about how it was
do you have a phone?
I'll Google candy floss. Watch it be like a G string or something. Like when I hear, yeah.
Oh, cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah. Sorry, man. We didn't.
Dude, that's way off from cotton candy. Way off. Way, way off. That'd be a terrible breath weapon because water melts it. Like instantly. Turns it into a pile of gooey, sugary stickiness. We should get some for Gabe.
Cotton candy?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Yeah, because you'd give it to him and you'd be like, okay,
you do it outside.
go see mommy.
No, you do it outside when we got the pool.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then that way they just go in the pool with their stickiness and, you know, whatever.
That's all good.
Yeah, that he says that's the stuff you get on a stick at fairgrounds. It's basically just spun sugar. Yeah, cotton candy. It's not candy floss.
Well, that's what he probably
It's not the same
it.
stuff. It's cotton candy, man. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
You can't call it that other stuff. It's wrong.
God, you're so American right now.
I'm just harassing Melchior, okay? You guys are all harassing me about Shimmer. I can now harass you about cotton candy and stuff.
You can harass me about zero things.
No, I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give miniature painting a try. Do you want the normal handle without the clips? Would that be better for you? Do you like using it?
Sometimes.
Because you've put this one in there too. Like the first one was totally cool.
Yeah, I mean.
Does it allow you to keep your hand more steady and stuff?
No, because I still just like. It's still the same. For me,
okay.
like. I feel like I have a really steady hand. Mm-hmm. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm painting well, but that my hand is really steady.
Gotcha.
I think that's something that I like have going for me.
Yeah. I gotcha. So I took the kids to a field today, and it was the greatest thing in their lives ever. Like just a giant open field.
Yeah, oh, our kids are like outdoor enthusiasts.
Yeah, they always want to be outside.
Like if you want to take them on like a walk, or if you want to take them, just outside and just sit outside in the sun. Do you remember the first book that Lily brought home from the library from her school the first time?
No.
It was a field guide to flowers.
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like, I was just like, what? This is like a flower identification book. This was the thing you picked out of all the books in the library, and she was so pumped about it. It was special, guys.
Yeah. I agree. She's definitely your hippie tree hugger. $100%.
Melchior is still all about this cotton candy breath weapon.
Of course he is. Because, you know, he wants to give me a hard time. I don't think it would work as an entangle. Actually, I feel like there should be more entangle type of things. You know what I mean?
Like area of effect restrictions.
But not violent.
Spells?
Yeah, but yeah, like I just feel like even if they're not spells, just abilities or whatever. Like a druid once per day can do such and such where vines will wrap around your ankles and it prohibits you from moving or something. I don't know.
I mean,
it's basically entangle, but it could be weaker. Like it could be a single target. You could do it like once per day, or you know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. I think.
I mean, it would make sense. Like it's like almost like a hold person.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it doesn't last as long because hold person's it's a first level spell.
Yeah.
So I guess you could do like once or twice per day or whatever your
Gotcha.
modifier is, you know, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it that way. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I gotcha. Sorry, I'm trying to read something at the moment. Sorry, 1 second.
It's okay. Rollstat says, Sai, I remember outside. What's that like actually being outdoors? Don't mind me. I'm just gonna curl up in a fetal position and cry for a while. Oh.
Just go outside to an open field. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's probably lots of large parks in Chicago or in Illinois. Yeah, we just went to like an old crappy baseball field that nobody goes to. And it's right across from like the street from a park that has a bunch of people playing on play structure. So that's what we did.
Not listening to any suggestions.
You are? What?
No,
Oh yeah, the
like
people there. Yeah. 2d6 damage? No, cotton candy breath would not do any damage. It's too soft. It's not hot.
Think about it. If somebody threw cotton candy at you, what would it do to you?
Nothing.
Nothing. There's
it wouldn't
zero
stun me or anything.
Chance. Like if somebody threw a torch
bull
at you, it could hit you and
yes.
it could burn you and it could set something on fire. Like if somebody threw, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying.
If a pit bull is charging at me and I have cotton candy breath, I bet you that pit bull does not hesitate and just runs right through it and attacks me. Now I'm reminded of Asimov's The Caves of Steel, where everyone is agoraphobic because they live in a totally enclosed environment. Some weird stuff is going to happen, I think, this year. I think people are going to come out on the other side not knowing how to socialize even more. Like, it's going to be weird. It's already weird. Like when you come across people in public.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't know.
I get weird when someone holds a door for me now. Because I'm like, oh, you're too close. Like that's happened twice at a gas station for me. And I'm like, Like that's how I feel. Like I almost feel like I should take like 7 steps back so they can walk in.
Guys, so I haven't been anywhere yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
You've been at places. You haven't gone into a single place.
yeah. So
Not one.
I don't know.
Wait, you haven't gone into a single place at all?
I went into the bookstore. I went into my friend's bookstore when she was the only other
It's still a
person
bookstore.
there.
It's still a place.
I know, but she's doing
Do you know how many people use those handles? I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Why
Paula's
do you
Paula's
do
gonna come out of
things
this.
like that?
Paula's gonna come out of this as a hypochondriac. I'm convinced of it. Like she was worried. It's funny if you think about it. When this whole thing started, like she was like, "Oh my gosh, you can't order a pizza. Like you just can't. What if you get sick?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like we got to get food somewhere. Whether we get it from a grocery store or there, someone's touching the food at some point in the process. Like at least this food's cooked and put into a box." Like I don't know.
You guys.
I don't know. I get it. I think it's silly that restaurants are open, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm like super protective of my children, so
A lot of people are.
I think if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be as concerned about it.
Melchior says cotton candy is made of melted sugar. Have you ever been hit by melted sugar? I believe I have had cotton candy before. So yes.
Doesn't.
Maybe the pit bull has a sweet tooth. Yeah, I don't think so, man. No
Like,
way,
have
Cameron.
you met a pit bull?
Our pit bull dog would probably stop and eat it.
Yes.
Never, but then she'd come and attack your face. Never underestimate the danger of molten sugar. It causes the most horrible burns, generally 3rd degree. I mean, does it get that hot?
When it's cotton candy, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had warm cotton candy. And I've seen them spin it right there in front of me and then give it to me. And it was not warm at all. It was just cotton candy. Tons of people are becoming germaphobes and hypochondriacs. Don't feel alone. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. I think everything is going to happen and that'll just be the way it is. New normal, people. New normal.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're going to see what's going to happen. Sorry. I'm trying.
It's alright, I fixed it for you.
I felt like I was just figuring out where I needed the miniature to be when I was painting.
Yeah.
And now I have no idea again. I mean, granted, everybody watching is probably like, no, you've been screwing it up the whole time.
No, probably not.
But, like...
So we didn't do an RPG talk today.
Oh, you didn't do one today?
Nope. It was
what happened?
So my friend Babarchi, it sounds like stuff's going on, personal stuff. So he's going to be taking a step back a little bit from doing his RPG stuff. He's the one who did the Power Outage RPG. He's always doing like he'll put it up for sale just to raise money for charity and stuff.
Oh,
like he doesn't usually take profits on it or anything. He just is like anything goes towards charity. Anyways, we have a flip through on Friday of that. That'll be up. It's already queued up, so it's ready for Friday. But yeah, he was supposed to be my guest today. And he told me sometime last week he wouldn't be able to. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm not going to fill his place. I'll just, just take the day to not worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was supposed to be. Thursday, we have Scott Yules from... It's the Maximum Apocalypse RPG. And I'm not exactly sure how that game is played, but I will ask him about it, and we'll see what he says. So that'll be Thursday. They played it on Nerdarchy a couple weeks ago, one shot of it. So I tuned in for a second, but couldn't watch the whole thing. Melchior says the machine is designed to cool down the molten sugar really fast, so it makes those strings of sugar which tangle together to form cotton candy. If that didn't happen, it would be really dangerous. So how hard was it for you to type in cotton candy rather than candy floss?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just curious.
There's so much we didn't know about cotton candy, clearly.
Apparently this guy knows what's going on. Melchior is well versed in candy floss. Or fairy floss, as they say in Australia.
Shut up. You're so dumb.
I love Melchior.
You know what happened during the Call of Cthulhu game? Where he was like, there was one point
You're gonna say
where,
it, and I'm gonna be like, I didn't know what he was talking about at all.
where Sean was like, and he was like, you know, like you hear noises coming from your boot, and he's like,
and I was sitting there, I was like,
and I was like, is there a radio in his shoe? Like,
did you
what's
say
going
that?
on? No.
Oh, okay, because that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking that, and I'm like, is there a radio in the shoe? Like, is there a bug in his shoe? And
that's what I thought he was.
I was about to say something, and then he and Michael kept talking about the boot, and they were going back and forth, and I didn't have a good chance to jump in and say anything, and I wasn't really in that room.
But they popped the boot open,
but
which
then
meant
they
the trunk.
popped the trunk of the car, and I was just like, oh, shit. And then... like, I had no idea what was going on. Clearly no idea.
Okay, yeah, I remember them saying that, and I was so confused.
It was so bad.
Until he
like,
popped
oh my gosh.
the boot.
I couldn't believe that I
And
made
there was a
that
person
mistake.
in it. Yeah. Milkier says, hey, Americans are really strange. I don't even know what that means. Do you know what that means?
Sometimes.
We are white as hell. We are American as hell. How about that? Radio shoe. Shades of Maxwell Smart shoe phone. Yeah, except they meant the trunk of the car. They had a guard in it.
Yeah, like we just didn't catch on. It was fine. Like the second he opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot.
But are you? Like, come on. I'm sure everyone would have been confused if I said, oh man, my Go Fasters, blah, 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 blah. Like, people would be like, what are you talking about? Go Fasters.
Yeah, but like...
Be like, yeah, my shoes. Or if I'm referring to windows as portholes or something.
Yeah,
or like where we pulled the cars and we parked the cars on the quarter deck. Like, not everyone's going to know what that stuff means.
Yeah, but still... doesn't matter.
See, Melchior says, radio shoe. Shades of Maxwell Smart shoe phone. See? It changed what I thought was going on. I thought people were wearing boots then rather than suits and dress shoes. I remember going, oh, I didn't know we were wearing boots.
Oh, I specifically said I wasn't wearing a suit.
Did you? I don't remember.
Yeah, I was wearing a shell suit. You know, like
I don't know what that means.
The plasticky style, like lounge suits.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Here, please allow me to educate you.
I can look it up if I really want to.
What a shell suit is. It's like so 80s.
Yeah, nobody cares. Sounds like something Lady Gaga would wear.
They do care.
Remember when the idea of fitting a phone into the space of a shoe was so silly that it was used as a comedy idea? And now we can fit a phone into a pocket?
Shell suit.
Yeah, that's awful.
Look
Absolutely awful.
Shell suit. That's what I was like.
I would call that a tracksuit.
It's called... That's not what it's called, though. It's called a shell suit.
Well, that's a stupid name for a tracksuit.
So I specifically said I was wearing that. I was not wearing a suit.
Oh, okay. It didn't change anything. Like, didn't matter to me. It didn't change my idea of what was going on in the game.
Clearly.
Cameron says, I care. LOL. Yeah, dude, you can fit... Like, they have... Everything you need can basically fit into an earpiece these days. Like, you can make... The technology is out there to make, like, phones incredibly small.
What are you talking about?
He said, remember when the idea of fitting a phone into the space of a shoe was so silly that it was used as a comedy idea. And now we can fit a phone into a pocket.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Melchior says, so you weren't suitably dressed?
I mean, I had just performed a heist.
We were all in suits
perhaps,
with ties. Except her.
Perhaps I was.
She was dressed in a tracksuit.
Fashionable. That happens in Reservoir Dogs, too.
Yeah.
Homeboy.
Yeah, we gotta watch that. Do we have that movie still?
Yeah, we can go inside and watch it. Start it after this.
Yeah. Maybe in like a half hour?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, let's do it.
He's gonna look sweet when he's done.
I think he's gonna look cool.
What color is his armor gonna be?
So, I'm gonna make it silver.
Oh, what about like an emerald green?
But then I'm going to add some sort of color to it. Like, so...
Green and gold would be badass.
This section, right? I don't know if you guys can see that brush. Yeah, that section in there, that's all going to be colored. This could be colored. That trim could even be colored. This band here could be colored. So there could be a lot. There's a lot of opportunity for some sort of color, but I think I'm
gonna... Are you sure you don't want an emerald green? Normally I'm all for silver. Go with like an emerald green with gold.
I could do that. Oh, no. This...
No? What would you do for the trim if you did emerald green?
No, I could do the gold on the trim, but the rest of the armor is going to be silver.
Oh, okay.
But, like, he's got this whole big, like... You know what? I'm going to call it a skirt right here.
Yeah, we forgot the name already.
You know, somebody wants to tell us what the name is, that's great. But, like...
Cameron says, that totally changes my visual of your character. Oh, he watched the whole game, too, I think. Remember? Because I think he was, like, the 4th commenter.
Oh,
I think he said he tied for the first comment, but I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. Little stats. So you were a nice guy Eddie then, Paula.
Yeah, for sure. I was
Is that one of the characters from Reservoir Dogs?
I was super nice. I was excited to work with everybody.
Were you? You were talking smack to my guy, of course, as usual.
I mean, that's what we're good at doing, though.
Mm-hmm.
When we play in games, it's entertaining, and it gets it started off right.
It sets the tone.
Yeah, so then everybody else is like, oh, okay, cool. I can jump into this joke as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can even have fun.
It's crazy that we once struggled to fit 64K of memory into a single computer, and now we can easily fit 32 gigs of memory into a device the size of a thumbnail. Yeah, if you got enough money, dude, you can fit so much into such a little amount of space. So I used to work for an electronic contract manufacturer, and we would do stuff for some clients that would be like, hey, $300,000 for this circuit board, and it would have the smallest components you could think of. And then we would do this other one that would like be the same size board, but it had much bigger components because the customer didn't want to spend as much money. So the design was a little worse. It was a little bit older technology, you know?
This should not be silver.
What?
Shouldn't it be? I think these are just
confused about
straps. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I painted that silver and I shouldn't have.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's just kind of interesting how small the stuff is you can fit in there. Like when we used to talk to the engineers a bunch, because they would sometimes make suggestions on things to be changed. They could like better the design and stuff. And some of the stuff that they would be talking about, I was like, can we do that? Like, is that possible? Like, those things are so small. Our machines couldn't even place some of the small components, you know? Like, it was ridiculous. And then it's like to a point where there's so many like small components that they now put it into like an IC or an array so that you can fit far more tinier components into a 102 size package, which I know that doesn't mean much to you guys, but that's okay. Anyways. Yeah, I want to say we had like some components that were like the size of a period on a piece of paper that we would put on certain boards by the time I left a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing a good job talking about RPGs.
We've been all over the place. This is what we do. People are hanging out. We're having a good time. I've heard of a 6-pin PIC microcontroller, which you can get for 2 cents each if you buy a few thousand at a time. Well, yeah, if you buy in bulk from China. China.
Stop. That sounds so racist.
It only sounds racist because of who I'm mimicking.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, you can get some pretty cheap parts from China, but then the shipping costs. Yeah. Same thing with like resistors and resistor networks and all that good stuff. But yeah, you can get them for pretty cheap. It's like the more expensive parts are like BGAs and stuff. Those are really expensive depending on what you're getting.
As exciting as this is.
Oh, whatever.
I hate to change the conversation to something
So what do you want to talk about?
else.
So then what do you want to talk about?
Like anything.
So what do you want to talk about?
Stop it.
We're having a conversation. This is how conversations happen. They just flow. I'm currently looking at playing the game in the Pathfinder core rule book. I feel like I've pretty much gone through this whole book at this point.
I feel like you've told me about every section.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't like read everything word for word.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely probably skipped over all the spells.
I went through those like at one time, remember? But I don't remember most of them. Because remember, I was going through and I was like, oh, there's only a few that do that thing where you can use it as a single or a double or a triple action. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
So, but even in 5e, I never really read through every single spell.
I know. I always thought that was weird that you were like, oh, I don't know what like any of these spells do.
I don't. I mean, like, I know what people use at low levels in my games.
You know? You just don't like...
Spells don't interest me that much. So
you hardly ever play spellcasters.
I play clerics a lot.
Yeah, but like, why? What's your deal with spellcasters?
They're all boring. Wizards look boring to me. Like, yeah, you can cast different spells, great, but wizards are boring to me. Sorcerers are boring to me. Warlock is cool, but I like the versatility there. What I need to do is I need to play a mountain dwarf wizard, and I think I could get a little more into the whole spellcasting idea then.
I'm just saying, in our other game, in our Blackrock game, you were like, babe, you should really play a barbarian. And I'm like,
and you love it.
I don't know if I want to. I'm having so much trouble keeping this on camera.
That's why you should just paint where you're comfortable and then let me do it.
Well, you're not paying attention because I am painting where I'm comfortable. I'm not on camera.
Because you told me before you were going to handle it. You didn't want me to move it around. You said you got it. You're like moving closer to it like every single time too. That's the thing.
Well, you want me to paint over here?
Whatever, wherever you're comfortable. That's the thing. Just paint where you're comfortable, and then it won't have to move a bunch. That's how it works. I think the chat would agree. Anyone here seen Ben Eater's Breadboard computer series? Not at all. I'm not that big of a nerd. I wouldn't even say I'm like well versed with circuit boards and stuff. I just knew enough to make work instructions for it and run the department for creating work instructions. He pretty much creates a whole computer, including the CPU, from discrete circuits, and he goes through the basics so you can understand each step and how the whole thing works. Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculously crazy. My grandpa, when I was little, got me an old school like thing where you could put all the through-hole technology in and create like a radio and create a microphone and all sorts of different things.
Oh, that totally sounds like something your grandpa would get for somebody.
Well, my grandpa was an electronics major in college.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like,
Roll Stats says, Wizards are okay. I'm not a fan of bards. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the stereotypical way bards are played. I feel like I would enjoy a bard a little bit, but I would probably play it more like Link from Legend of Zelda, like Ocarina of Time or something. Like, that's what I would do. I'd probably have that little instrument.
Okay, guys, we gotta talk about this because Roll Stats brought it up. But I feel like bards get like a really bad rap all the time.
It used to be worse pre-3rd edition.
What's the deal? Like,
because they sucked before 3rd edition.
There are all these people that post like, oh, my bard,
There's a We Hate Bards group in Grand Rapids.
This stupid thing happened to my bard because my DM made this call and I'm not allowed to do anything fun. Or in some of the women's groups, holy crap.
Yeah, but you guys just need to start gaming together online. That's the point.
Holy crap, you guys.
I'll produce a game for you guys.
I'm so surprised by the amount of women that are like, yeah, my DM, I had to quit my gaming group because my DM had my character raped.
Yeah, that happened in a pretty
holy cow
big online game recently too.
Oh, come on. When she explicitly was like, please don't do this.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with being a bard. That's just
no, but
other
other
DMing.
ones where the like, oh, they tried to flirt with the person, and then the DM's now making them sleep with this person, and now their character's pregnant, and like this whole ridiculous storyline. You know?
No, that should never happen. You don't take away player. That's taking away player agency, leaving it to die rolls. That's why I don't let players do die rolls against each other emotionally, like to convince them of if what you're doing is right or wrong or whatever.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I just take that out of my game completely. But that's just how I am. It's really tiny computer. Yeah. Roll stats. It's the way people play them. They're generally kind of creepy. The bard is generally played kind of rapey. I guess that's why I'm saying it's the yeah. See, I don't like that stuff. I don't really let that happen in a lot of my games.
I don't play my bard like that.
Well, no, you're different. But Luke would. Think about it. What's their charisma score? Like, you know he would.
I know. Next time he asks that, I'm just gonna be like, look. Nobody's charisma score is gonna be better than my charisma score. So shut the front door.
Cameron said, did people get annoyed with bards a lot before Critical Role? Dude, there's a couple things you're going to learn about RPGs. Gnomes and bards are probably the most polarizing races and classes in any RPG. There are those who love them, and there are those who despise them. Those right there, it's the bards and the gnomes that get the most hate and the most diehard fandom. But I will say bards, I think, kind of sucked before 3rd edition. I feel like 3rd edition and Pathfinder and 5th edition have made bards an adequate class. So I will say that. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to playing a bard. I think it would be kind of fun. But I would probably play it as like an aspect of his character. Like, I don't... Like, when you think of a bard, you think of, like, a guy with a minstrel who's singing of heroes, conquests, and stuff. And that's kind of lame, in my opinion. But to have... By the class of a bard, I think of something far more over the top than that, right? Like, I don't feel like they would just be traveling around playing an instrument and whatever. Like, I feel like there's more to it than that. I don't know. Melchior, I don't much care for bards. They seem weak to me. Not enough melee skill and not enough magic skill. They can't fill either melee or range rules properly. I disagree. I think they're good for both if you focus them.
Yeah, I think it really depends on how you build it. Like, yeah, they can be the jack of all trades character, but they can be a little bit more specific. Mm-hmm. And cover, like, they could be your rogue, but also add some additional magic power or something.
If you're talking 5e, nothing will be as good as a rogue.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you can be
do it.
Like a stealthy character or something like that. Like, that could be an aspect
of
your character.
I agree.
I think you can play them however you want. They would be a bad substitute for a magic user. Like, if you didn't have
I think they'd be fine as a magic. But the thing is, they don't get the same type of spells. They get more like... They get a little bit of multiple people's spells.
That's why they wouldn't do as well.
But there's certain ones that allow you to get, like, expertise. So, again, it depends on how you build it. You can build a bard that's just as good as most... That's the thing that's cool about 5e. You can build characters against type to be good at other stuff and almost just as good as somebody else. Without really losing, like, power, you know? You can play them as front lines. I think in Pathfinder, the original one, they were actually really good frontline characters. But I don't know. That's just what I've heard. Victor says, I'm not charming in real life, so I fail a lot when playing Bard. He said Barb, but I think he means Bard. BN Drake, playing a Bard of Lore in a game, it's real fun. I think the Bard of Lore, doesn't that give you expertise? BN Drake played in our Call of Cthulhu game that we were talking about. He was playing Mr. Beige earlier.
Oh, hey. We were talking about you earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, we talked about the Call of Cthulhu game and how cool it was. I said you were kind of quiet, but then I think you were just playing your character. Cameron says, yeah, I didn't get into the community part of D&D until a few years ago. And by that point, Critical Role was already popular. So Critical Role started in 2015, I think. and they were not popular right off the bat. So people fail to realize that. It feels like it took them a while. It wasn't until like 2016, I feel like, that they really started to do something. And my gosh, come 2017, they were huge. Huge. Roll stats. I mean, they're meant to be the jack of all trades. I mean, it's a feature of the class. Yeah, but you can really hone in their focus. So
you can. You just, all we're saying is that you have to elect to do that.
Yeah, they get more skills than anybody else. They can make half proficiency skill rolls with things they're not skilled in, I think. Like, so that's pretty awesome. But you can be like really like you're gonna get you're gonna roll the same things that a wizard's gonna roll to attack and to make your DCs and all that stuff's gonna be about the same. So they're just as effective as them. Same thing with clerics. You're gonna do the same thing. The only difference is whatever the cleric specialized in, you're not gonna be better than a life cleric at healing people. Like, duh. Like that's what the life cleric does.
Right.
But you can heal just as good as any other cleric, you know. I'm not sure about how many spell slots they get in relation or any of that, but bards are good. They're just as good. And if you really want to be like a frontline character, I mean, take some feats to get the armor stuff up. I mean, I'm sure there's a bard with medium armor proficiency. And so if you get the 3rd armor proficiency for heavy, now you're talking, right?
You could be a dwarf.
Just for a second. Yeah, it could be a mount. Well, that only gets you to medium.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
But I think bards already get medium. Oops.
Oh.
I'm gonna look.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna figure this out. You think they only get light?
I don't know. I'm just saying that my
We are going to find
armor
out.
class is like 14.
Yeah, but you have a high dex, so why would you take medium or heavy armor?
I don't have a high dex.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's +2.
You also didn't have a lot of money to buy stuff, right?
Yeah, but you gave us the chance to the other time. There's nothing else I can get that I can wear.
All right, hang on.
Pretty sure it's just light.
Light armor, yep. So, okay, so if you did a
look
4th...
at that. I was right.
So if you did a
Who was
4th
right?
level feat, doesn't matter.
What'd you say?
Doesn't matter. So by 8th level, you
Just
could
remember
easily
the
have
guys.
heavy armor. There's no reason you couldn't, other than your strength score. So there you go. Now you can have your 20 AC bard up front.
20 AC bard.
Right. That's ridiculous. That's OP.
It's gonna be fine.
Hey, I would play that bard. So again, I don't know a lot about bards. I've never played one. College of Lore. So
I feel like a lot of people...
bonus proficiencies. You gain proficiency with 3 skills of your choice.
I feel like a lot of people like that one.
The lore one. You get cutting words. At 3rd level, you learn how to use your wit to distract, confuse, and otherwise sap the confidence and competence of others. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or damage roll, you can use your reaction to expend one of your bardic inspiration and subtract it from the number they rolled. That's a big deal.
Yeah, a lot of people go with that one.
They do get expertise at 3rd level.
Because that's where Luke and Jake kept telling me, like, you don't have cutting words, you don't have this, you don't have that, and I'm like, no, guys, I didn't do that type. Like, stop it. And they're like, no, you're gonna get it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Stop telling me things.
Stop telling me things that aren't true. Yeah, so you get, obviously, bardic inspiration, which is a big deal, which I think you can use, too. You don't have to give it to somebody else, if I remember right. Song of Rest. This is what all bards get. Soothing music, oration. Yeah, so you can basically heal as like an ability. You choose a bard college at 3rd level, and you get expertise at 3rd level. Choose 2 skill proficiencies that are doubled. So again, you could play the rogue just as good as the rogue. To rob, to be stealthy, whatever. So you could do that. Yeah, they're great in 5e. Like, you can do a ton of stuff with pretty much anything in 5e. But that's just my take.
You can be whoever you want to be, you guys.
Cameron says, I just suddenly realized that I have, as a player and a DM, have not had goblins or kobolds in any game, nor any hags, though I've tried. Me and my DMs have really been slacking on the classics. Oh, you're talking about as a DM? You've never ran those monsters? Kobolds are like, if you play 5e, you have to use kobolds.
Yeah, how have you not run a game with kobolds?
Or reskin them though. Use kobolds and then call them goblins to screw up your players. Or vice versa.
To do that.
I like to reskin a lot of monsters. I think that's the way you should run games to keep players on edge and not metagaming. Like, imagine if I threw a Medusa at you guys that did not turn anybody to stone.
We'd be like, wait, hold on. Hold, please.
Right? It would.
Hold the phone.
Imagine I did that to, like, Andy, you, Erica, and Drew.
I mean, I would just roll with it.
It'd be great.
I feel like.
It'd be so funny. And then you find out that it's just a really badass creature that it's like a mimic. It's a Medusa mimic. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like... So that's something I've kind of got a gripe about is players who do that metagaming. You know, they're like, well, I know the stats of that creature and da-da-da-da. And it's like, so? I don't want my players doing that all the time.
I know, it's hard, and that does prevent you from doing that, you know, or prevent them from doing it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. But, you know.
Roll Stat says, meh, I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying it's a bad class. I'm just saying Bard isn't my cup of tea. I agree, it's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah,
but it is just as effective as any other class, is my point. That's the thing about 5e's design. I feel like everything is pretty useful, minus Rangers. No, Rangers are good if you're talking about like...
If you want to play more resources.
No.
Right? Like more resource.
I don't feel that about Ranger. No. So I feel like Rangers are good if you're talking about weaker multiple enemies. Like mobs of enemies. Like,
like it's can take them out.
There's 20 goblins coming at us and we're second or third level. Like, because they can hit multiple things.
Yeah.
With their regular attacks. They have spells that do some area of effect. They're not real strong, but they're, you know, they would work on weaker enemies. And as you level up, they'll still do quite a bit. So I think you can... But I would say Ranger is probably the least effective class in 5e. Like, it's very specific. Very specific.
Yeah. I don't really know anybody who's really taken the time to play a Ranger, but...
I told you I will in Tomb of Annihilation.
I don't know. I tend to get more, like... I don't...
I've played it.
I don't play Rangers a ton.
I played a Gith Yankee Ranger in our From the Astral game for a while. He died at some point, but he was fun.
His memory shall live on.
Yeah, not really. You know, I've never played a Ranger either. Not sure I'd want to play that either. I guess those are the two classes that just don't interest me.
Bard and Ranger. You know, so is there anything you haven't played?
Oh, I don't care about Artificer. Yeah, I haven't played a Wizard in 5e. I don't think I've played a Sorcerer.
No, just like in a role-playing game in general.
Sorcerer. Wizard.
Really?
Yeah. Never played an Artificer. Never will. I don't think I played a monk, but I definitely don't have any interest in playing monks. Monks annoy me.
Yeah, I don't know what your problem is.
I just think I don't know. For me, they don't fit my fantasy games, like the way I envision them. But I know people love them. I just don't. I mean, they're cool, but I feel like they should be in a book with like samurai and ninja. Like, you know what I mean? Like a ninja subclass for rogue, right? A samurai subclass for like fighter or paladin or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would do it. I would make a whole sub thing. I'd probably make a samurai a subclass of paladin. I would make a monk a subclass of fighter. And a ninja a subclass of a rogue. That's what I would do.
That would kind of make sense.
And I would have a whole setting around that kind of stuff. The Wuxia or Wuxia or whatever they call it. I don't know how to say it. But
what?
yeah. Wuxia. Wuxia. It's the setting, basically. It's like, it means like the Oriental Adventures kind of thing. It's like a specific term. You've never heard of that? How have you never heard of that?
No.
Yeah, look. Oops, I didn't type it right. There. See? And you get like, which literally means martial heroes is a genre of Chinese fiction concerning the adventures of martial artists in ancient China. So, yeah. That's like, it's in the DM's guide if you want to run a game like that and stuff like that. That's where I would put monks and samurai, like, you know.
Gotcha.
I would do something focused on that kind of thing for its own type of fantasy. Like, there's so much cool storytelling in that area as well, you know? Like, that movie Great Wall, I loved that movie.
That was a great movie.
With the bungee jumpers. Yeah, it's an awesome action flick. In fact, let me see what streaming service that is on.
HBO?
You think so? That'd be a great spot for it. The Great Wall. Where to stream and watch? Oh, it's not in U.S. Netflix.
Guys, I think this was supposed to be middle.
It's okay.
And I made it like branch. Guess I could have kept going.
It's on Amazon.
It's looking very naturey.
Amazon Prime. Ooh, it might be on Netflix. It's just not in America. Is it on here? Is it on here?
America's a hot mess over here right now, so maybe they don't want to.
It had like Matt Damon in it, right?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. We all know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but that movie wasn't like a huge box office hit. I don't think. The other one that was good was Maze Runner, now that we're talking about those.
Oh my gosh, those were good.
Did we watch the other ones? I feel like I only watched the first one.
The second one. We watched the second one too.
Did we? I don't... Oh, I think we might have. Aren't there 3?
Yeah.
All right, so where to stream The Great Wall? FX, Amazon Prime, iTunes, YouTube. It's on YouTube. Google Play, all that stuff. It's on FX. So there you go. There you go, guys. Great Wall is on FX.
Or
Check
Prime.
out the One-E Oriental Adventures books. No thanks. I'm not going back to anything One-E. But yeah, I'm sure it is what I'm talking about. In fact, I think I've seen it before, to be honest. And that's where I got the idea that it should just be in that. I don't think monk should be in the core book. I just don't. It does not fit my vision of what my fantasy world should be. Like, if you want to have like a Friar Tuck style monk, that's fine, but I probably wouldn't call him a monk. I don't know what I'd call him, but he wouldn't be a monk.
You would just call him an NPC. Probably.
Yeah, level 0 character. Level 0 fighter, maybe. They can't wear heavy armor yet. Melchior, the only time I remember making a bard was in Neverwinter Nights, and that was just as a flavor character for social interaction rather than for playing. Try playing a bard as an interrogator. Those mind control spells should be for getting evil people to spill the beans, or to get them to help you do good, like infiltrate a vampire's camp. Okay. Neverwinter Nights has a huge online component. In fact, I'd say that's the main part of it. Yeah, and you used to be able to like create certain like specific maps and levels and stuff for other people to play in it. Neverwinter Nights was a cool game. I only watched a friend play it. He bought like a whole computer just to be able to play that and mod it and all that stuff. He was obsessed. He spent like 3 days straight making a level that had like a key, like a castle kind of, like a small one, like a fort, I should say. And like you had to navigate through the woods and get certain things before you could fight the monster that you put inside of the castle. So you had to find his magic items. But I think because of the way it was, is if you found it, it was gone forever. Like the magic items. So the first people that came to it could beat it. Otherwise, you couldn't. Or maybe some people could if they had specific magic items and came to the map, they could then beat it. But it was meant to be very difficult.
Really?
Yeah, because you can create your own stuff as big as you want. As big as your computer can handle to host it.
Gotcha.
At least that's how I remember it, because that's why he needed the computer he needed. And he had to leave his computer on in order for the map to be on. Because he couldn't, like, if he turned it off, people couldn't access it. BN Drake says modify memory. Is that one of the spells? That sounds crazy. Maybe he just needs a false Hydra to travel with him. Roll stats. You don't have to play it when you can adapt it to your modern 5e or Pathfinder 2e game. It's just to draw inspiration from. Yeah, I just don't think I would ever read it. That's all. I don't have an interest in playing that style game, is what I'm getting at, roll stats. I think you can tell some cool stories, you know, but I don't think that's my cup of tea. He's looking all right. I dig it. You liking it so far?
Yeah, I gotta make everything like darker. It's all really bright.
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah, I was expecting the green to be more vibrant.
Yeah, I gotta make it more. I will.
It's cool though. I like it.
I'll get there.
Melchior says it still is a cool game. Beamdog re-released it as Enhanced Edition after making some bug fixes and adding enhancements. Oh, I'm sure they did. I don't have a computer that can handle that kind of stuff though, so I will never be jumping on that, unfortunately. I wanted to get the D&D video game that came out in like 2015 or 16. I want to say it was like Sword Coast Legends or whatever. I don't know. But it was, the whole engine was based on 5e. And I feel like that game would have been really cool. I think I saw some people play it online. And it looked fun. And I don't know why it didn't it just seemed to fizzle out really quick for whatever reason.
There were probably issues with it or something.
Yeah, it looked smooth. I wonder if it was too repetitive. Sword Coast, I don't know, let's see what it is. Sword Coast Legends, 2015. This is what it was. Let's see what it says. Typical races and classes for Forgotten Realms. It's the Sword Coast region of the continent Faerun. And that's the other thing. I mean, most of the D&D games take place in this area too, so that might be part of it. Was released worldwide on October 20th, 2015 for Windows, OS X, and Linux, with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions coming out in 2016, so I didn't know that. It'd be their last project before they closed in 2016. So I wonder if the servers died. December 11, 2017, it was announced via social media that Sword Coast Legends would no longer be available for retail after December 31st, 2017, but that their servers would remain operational for the foreseeable future. The servers were closed July 25th, 2018. So they closed 7 months later? And the game can now be played only offline. The game was met with the mixed critical reception upon release. Aggregating review website Metacritic gave the Microsoft Windows version 61 out of 100 based on 39 reviews. PC Gamer awarded a score of 55%, calling it a straightforward cliche that feels out of place in the new wave of CRPGs. IGN awarded it a score of 5.5 out of 10, saying, poor creation tools and aversion to genuine, interesting decision-making keep Sword Coast Legends from succeeding. Yeah, so it sounds like
it was terrible.
Sounds like it was dull. It looked cool from what I saw. But what do I know, apparently?
Might not be hard to make a video game look cool, though.
Yeah, but I watched them play it. I watched a couple live plays, and I thought it looked fun. It was like Baldur's Gate with much better graphics and 5e engine. You know? That's what it looked like to me. Melchior says, the biggest attraction of Neverwinter Nights always was that it came with both the editor to create your own modules and the standalone server so you could put your module online for anyone to play. Yeah, I remember he bought the strategy books too, or something. I think it was strategy books. I don't know. He had a big book about the modding, is what I remember, and I don't think that came with the game. I think he had to buy that separate. But I remember looking at it, and he was all excited about making his stuff. I really when he'd make something new, he'd be like, "Come look at this." Yet I could never get the guy to play some actual D&D with me. We talked about it, but we never made it happen. Because he was interested in D&D.
Well, I mean, he tried to play the one time.
No, I'm talking about Roger.
Oh.
Who do you think I was talking about? Brian?
Finch.
Oh, no. It was definitely not Finch. No, it was my friend Roger. He was a year older than me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he moved to... So he was from New Jersey. He moved to Michigan in middle school. No, freshman year. And then after he graduated, his mom moved back to Jersey.
Yeah, we should go in a minute. We should probably wrap this up.
All right, I'm cool. You just putting a wash on it?
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, it's been fun. What do you think of the handle? Do you actually like it?
I do. It's really hard to get accustomed to it being on here.
Yeah, but don't worry about that.
It's really hard.
We can move it back so you don't have to worry about it being so up close.
No, I'd rather it be up close. If that's what if you're trying to see this, then it should be up close. But I feel like I'm moving it a lot now.
Right, because it's easier.
Versus before where I was trying to keep
so
it
they can make this full
more.
screen for themselves. They're sitting like this, hon. Like, they can... Or some of them might even be sitting like with a big screen TV with it on it.
Okay, well,
so I don't know.
I was just like...
Some of them, not all of them, obviously. Speaking of games and Beam Dog and Neverwinter, what do you think about the Wizards releasing an Icewind Dale campaign book? I don't know. I'm behind. I saw that they're going to be doing that. I'm behind on Wizards of the Coast products at the moment. I don't know. It would be cool to get, for sure. I think it would add some elements. Obviously, the whole cold effect and things like that. Plus, I think the Icewind Dale's cool in general. Useful if you're going to do a lot of minis. Yeah, we paint minis multiple times a week, so I'd say this is useful. I think it's cool. I'm going to review it, I think. Pre-painting with it, though. I should probably try to paint with it first, shouldn't I?
Yeah, or you should ask me to do it.
Do you want to do it?
I could.
There you go. I guess Paula's going to... One of her first videos is going to be about this on this channel. We'll have her actually review it. Like a full-on review after she's thought about it. That is going to be cool.
Yeah. It'll look good.
He could double up as a ranger.
Yeah, so I'll make this brighter down here, stuff like that. So this will get a little bit more focus and be brighter here. Probably do some trim up here. I'm going to make this part here that wraps around. I'm going to make that bronze. And it's going to go up. This is like one of those dragon heads or something.
You should make it the same color as his head.
I might make it orange.
Oh, okay. Why don't you make it red then? It can't be chromatic because then it goes against his dragon type. You know, like they have the chromatic and the non-chromatic dragons.
It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. So Pathfinder 2nd Edition's coming out with their Advanced Player's Guide soon too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be in it. I'm curious. I kind of hope that they put like a Dragonborn in there. I don't think they're going to, but they didn't have it in 1st edition, I don't think.
No, they didn't.
Like, I don't even think they came out with it after the books that we had gotten for it.
Nope, I don't think so either.
Let's see what it says here. Maybe we can figure it out. 4 new classes. The Investigator, the Oracle, Swashbuckler, and the Witch. 5 new ancestries and 5 heritage for any ancestry. Celestial Azamars, so there you go. Curious Catfolk. Hag-spawned Changelings, Vampiric Dampiers. Fate-touched Duskwalkers, Scaled Kobolds. Fierce Orcs, Fiendish Tieflings. Industrious Ratfolk, and Feathered Tengu. Actually, that sounds kind of cool, race-wise, or ancestry-wise. 40 new archetypes, including multi-class archetypes for the 4 new classes. Cavalier, Dragon Disciple, Shadow Dancer, and Vigilante. And the brand new archetypes like the Familiar Master and the Shield-Bearing Iron Wall. Okay. New class options for all 12 classes, including Champions of Evil. Ooh, there we go.
Sounds cool.
Genie and Shadow Sorcerers. Zen Archer Monks. Rogue Masterminds. Spellcasting Rangers. Because remember, that was one of the things I was glad that they removed. They didn't have spellcasting for Rangers. And more. And new rules from rare and unique backgrounds. Investigative skill feats. From spells and rituals like Reincarnate and Create Demiplane to new items, including special wands with unusual effects and exciting potions worthy of a witch's cauldron. That sounds kind of cool. Looks like it's coming out at the end of July. Interesting.
Cool.
That actually sounds really cool.
Sounds good.
All right. So we're good? We're done?
Yep.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching. What is today? Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, something like that.
So maybe we'll hop on Thursday. We'll probably not do this tomorrow. Daddy. I'm used to talking to my kids. I will probably be working on some videos. Maybe we'll record a video tomorrow night that we'll post up in the next few days or something of the review on this handle. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit subscribe. And yeah. Oh, wait. Cameron says they can't do Dragonborn and their Wyvern flopped in Pathfinder 1E from what I heard. They're Wyvern people. The picture is really dumb because the dude has a dog nose. But I may play one in the future. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, because I didn't know anything about that. But anyways, we will talk next time. Once again, guys, thanks, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.